Welcome back to Keen on Australia. Today we're going to be talking about something that everyone keeps asking, and that's about when you move to Australia, how do you get your money here with you? It's something we get regularly asked. So today we've gone out and found someone that we can ask about it and find out some more information for you. Now remember, with all of our shows, they're general information, and when you need specific information, you should always reach out professionals yourself and get the information for your individual case. But today we've got Brett here, and Brett, you work for a Forex company, and what do you guys do? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure, Darren. Thanks. I appreciate the invite today for today's podcast. Yeah, so I'm with TORFX. We're a foreign currency provider. We're a global player. So what I mean by that is that we've got over 25 years experience in the foreign currency market. Our head office is based in the UK, and we've got 25 offices all around the globe. We've been operating in Australia for just over 11 years now, and we service Australia, New Zealand, and a lot of the world from our office in Australia as well. But what we do, we basically help people move money internationally. We do it securely, quickly, offer better rates of exchange than what the banks offer, and and we don't have any fees and there's no setup charges whatsoever. So we just try and keep the experience for the client very nice and simple and very straightforward as well. Just try and keep the stress and anxiety out of the equation. So,
Cool. So, what are some of those common scenarios where people are moving countries, like they're coming from New Zealand to Australia or the UK to Australia? How are they going to benefit using a foreign exchange provider over just going direct to, say, a bank?
yeah, that's it. I'm glad you asked that because most people, when they have to move money, they go, oh, I just got to, all I can think of is my bank. I'll use my bank. But unfortunately, the banks, even though they might lure you with a fairly cheap, say, fee or something for moving your funds internationally, what's hidden at the back end is generally a poor exchange rate. So when you're moving large amounts of money, they can hurt you in the definitely the hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands. So the benefit of using a company like ours is you'll get a better rate of exchange, and we offer a real high touch personal service as well, which you tend not to get from the banks these days.
And that's, I suppose, my next question is, yeah, how do you guys like? I've seen quotes you've done and whatnot. How do you guys generally do it cheaper than a bank? Is it literally
Yeah,
just a better exchange rate, or are you doing it more, or how do you guys get it cheaper than the banks do?
yeah, okay. I'll be open and honest, and that is that at the end of the day, we only do foreign currency. We don't do anything else. The bank, they're in the business of loaning people money, and foreign exchange isn't their major part of their business. So what we do, last year we facilitated in excess of $20 billion in transfers for our clients. So we go onto the open market and buy tranches of currency at the wholesale rate, and we just put a small margin on that, and then we pass those savings on to the client. Whereas the banks do the same, but they end up putting a larger margin on for themselves and also charge the clients fees along the way. So that's how we do it.
So you sort of touched on it before. What are those things people need to actually look at to really compare apples with apples? Like you said, some people offer a cheap transfer fee, but then what they do a different exchange rate, is it that you end up worse off?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're realizing less money in your bank account. So if you, for example, if hypothetically you're moving, say, a couple $100,000 from New Zealand to Australia, your 200,000 New Zealand dollars won't buy you as many Australian dollars if you get a poor exchange rate from the bank. Whereas where if you get a good exchange rate, you'll realize a lot more in your bank account. And like I said, that can be thousands when you're talking a couple of $100,000. So
And what are the most common mistakes people are making when they're transferring large sums, like you say, like a house deposit or that, like that sort of amount of money?
yeah, that's it. I think the most common mistake is that they can leave it to the last minute and then just reach out to the bank straight away. So in both scenarios, the bank, yet again, they'll charge you higher exchange rates. And if you need to do it swiftly, I mean, everyone's experienced issues with the bank. If you try and ring them, you get basically ping-ponged around from department to department until you get through to the right person. So it can be very frustrating. So with us, we've got a real high-touch personal service. So every client that comes on board with us, they get their own dedicated account manager. So they're there to help them with their transaction. Um, they get the direct email address, direct contact phone number so they can reach out to their account manager any stage. And they're there to really assist the client with their journey and maximize the value of their transfers as well.
And can someone set up that account before they've moved to Australia, or like do they do it before they move, or they have to wait till they moved, or?
Yeah, they can definitely do it beforehand. That's not an issue. It's actually probably the preferred way of going about it. That way, there gives you a bit of breathing space. And not only that, we go back to everyone having their own dedicated account manager. It gives them time to chat with their account manager, get a really good understanding of what they're trying to achieve so they can work together and try and maximize that transfer. So it's a very good idea to do so. And not only that, Darren, the client may also may need to send funds across for rental bonds or deposits, etc., or to purchase cars, etc., on their journey across to Australia as well.
So, is there an ideal time for people to transfer money, or like do they watch it themselves, or is that something you sort of work out with them and like do you work out a rate with them and say, hey, look, we'll keep an eye on it when it gets to a certain amount, we'll do it for you, or like what? How much involvement does the person have to have versus what you guys do?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone's circumstances are different. Some people need to move the funds very quickly because of their circumstances. It might be because they've got a settlement happening on a property and they just need the funds transferred straight away, whereas others have a little bit more time on their side. So yeah, that's when they can reach out to their account manager, and there's all different types of tools that we can assist the client with. So if they're needing to say reach a particular uh, exchange rate and it hits that target, there's no need for the client to constantly watch the market. They can lean on their account manager to do that for them. I mean, that's what their role is to look after the client, watch the market, and just alert the client when their target for their currency pairings are reached, and they can help them with forward contracts, etc. So there's lots of different ways that we can actually help the client. But at the end of the day, there's no need for the client to watch the market. That's what we do on the client's behalf. So,
Awesome. And then
and we will alert them.
when you're doing all that, is there like a minimum or a maximum amount that people can move? Like, is there, say you're only moving $1,000, is it worth doing all that where you just move it however? Or is there a maximum amount that you guys can't move?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, minimum amount that we can move is the equivalent of 200 Australian dollars. So that's okay. I mean, everyone's got different reasons for moving money. It could be just to help a family member out just by sending them a couple of $100s, or it could be for the more significant amounts of money where we're moving, tens of millions of dollars for clients as well. So
Awesome. And what's it going to look like for a new client? Like, what do they do setting up an account in that? Is there much for them to do, or is it quite simple?
yeah, it's quite simple, in fact. So the journey um, can take them anything from say 10 to 15 minutes to set up an account with us. So they can either do it online, or if they prefer, they can simply ring one of our colleagues in the office and they can set up the account over the telephone with them as well. So whatever's easier for the client is what we'll do to help them out. So then once their account's set up, they'll be allocated their own dedicated account manager like we discussed before. So they'll introduce themselves to the client and really have a really good chat with them and work out what their requirements are and how we can help them.
Cool. And that's actually, you've touched on that a couple of times now, but that was something I was going to ask over some of the online providers. I suppose, is that one of your biggest points of difference that they actually have a case manager to deal with? Like they just, if something goes wrong, etc., they've got a person to ring?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. And like you touched on, Darren, some of the online platforms are great for moving small amounts of money. But at the end of the day, if you need to speak to someone, unfortunately, you're generally left as a keyboard warrior and typing through an email through to them. Um, yeah, so that, and not only that, you're missing out on any guidance that like one of our team members can actually help the client with as well if they're a little bit uncertain. So all that's missed out on. You're basically just transacting at that point in time. Whereas if you had an account manager looking after you, they can assist and provide a bit of guidance and say, perhaps, listen, maybe wait an extra few more days because the currency's moving in your favor. So If they waited and they transacted a few days later, they can realise yet again more money in their bank account.
Awesome. And with that waiting and that, how quickly does money normally move? Like if they said to you, yep, I want to move the money now, how
Yep.
long is it? Hours, days, weeks?
Yeah, that's it. Australia, New Zealand, we're talking about that at the moment. We can move funds same day, but if not, it's generally 24 hours and 48 hours for other currencies as well. So, but generally, it's within 24 hours.
And what about moving money to either like say a family member or for paying a bill? Say they got a rental house and they need to put 5,000 Australian into a rental account. Are you guys able to put it straight into that account for them? Or do you have
Yeah,
to
we can.
here?
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, so they can set up an account while they're still, say, over in New Zealand. And with their virtual wallet, we can assist by making payments to the Australian real estate agents here or family and friends on their behalf, straight out of their wallet.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hopefully that's going to help people with a bit more knowledge on what they can do and can't do with moving money now. If you could give someone one golden piece of advice with moving money, what was the thing that they should be looking at doing? What's that one tip you should give everyone?
One tip is, yeah, if you can, try not to leave it to the last minute and just don't rely on using the bank. At the end of the day, if you give yourself a little bit of breathing space, you can definitely save yourself not only time, but literally thousands when it comes to moving significant amounts of money across border. So, without a doubt.
And you said before they can work all this out for free if they reach out to you guys, can't they? It's a free to open an account.
Yeah, 100%. Like to set up an account doesn't cost you anything. We don't charge any fees. And at the end of the day, even if you come through, you set up an account, you have some great conversations with your account manager, and you don't use our service, that's okay. There's no obligation to use our service whatsoever.
Oh, thanks for being on the show today. It's been real helpful for everyone out there. But if someone does need a bit more advice or they want to open an account, what's the easiest way they can get a hold of your business?
Yeah, I can provide you with a link, Darren, if you wanted to share that um, with your audience, and be happy to reach out that way.
Yeah, that's great. We'll put a link in the show notes for everyone. We'll put it on our socials. So everyone out there, if you're thinking about moving some money, that biggest advice, like everything we've said with planning for moving to Australia, the sooner you reach out with everything you do, the easier it's going to be. So thanks again, Brett, for being on the show. It's been great having you here answering people's questions. Hopefully, we'll have you on again maybe in the future to talk some more about tips with moving money. Everyone out there, we'll have more podcasts coming out again soon, obviously on all your favorite stations and providers. If you've got any questions and you want us to get someone on the show, reach out to us through our socials. The only way we know what questions you want asked is by asking them. You ask them, we go find the people, we get you the answers. We'll see you again on the next episode of Keen on Australia very soon.